In every kitchen, there lies a hidden treasure. Not gold, not jewels, but tiny jars filled with colors, aromas, and flavors that can transform the simplest meal into a feast. These are the spices, the seasonings, the blends handed down through cultures and centuries. Today, here at Buckeye Bloomstead, we're stepping into the world of homemade garden seasoning blends. Easy recipes you can craft with the herbs you grow, dry, and preserve yourself. From the warmth of Italian seasoning to the boldness of Cajun spice, these blends will connect your garden to your table in ways that store-bought shakers simply cannot. And so, you don't have to pause and scramble for a pen to jot things down. We've prepared a special PDF with every recipe from today's video. You can bring these flavors into your kitchen with ease. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, would you take a moment to do so? Subscribing and watching our videos all the way through truly helps Buckeye Bloomstead grow. It's also what makes it possible for us to create and share these free PDFs with you as a thank you for being part of our community. Now, before we dive into the blends themselves, let's take a moment to talk about something important: where these herbs and spices come from and how you can prepare them. Many of us here at Buckeye Bloomstead grow our own herbs: basil, oregano, thyme, parsley, peppers, and more. Fresh from the soil, these herbs are at their peak flavor. But to use them year-round in blends, they need to be dried. The easiest way? Dehydrating. You can use an electric dehydrator, an oven set to low, or even air dry certain herbs like thyme and oregano. The goal is simple: remove moisture so the herbs store well and don't mold. Once dried, they can be crushed or ground into powders, ready for mixing into seasoning blends. Leafy herbs like basil and parsley should be dehydrated at lower temperatures, around 95 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. This preserves not only their delicate oils but also much of their nutritional value. Peppers, garlic, and onions, being denser, do better at slightly higher temperatures. But no matter what you're drying, one truth remains: it is imperative to make sure your harvest is completely dry. Moisture is the enemy of long-term storage. Here at Buckeye Bloomstead, we follow a simple rule. When the dehydrator cycle is finished, we allow everything to cool. Once cooled, we check carefully for any trace of dampness. If in doubt, back into the dehydrator it goes. Instructions may offer a guide, but the truth is, dehydrating times are only estimates. Humidity, air circulation, and the density of the food all play their part. Take strawberries, for example. Once cooled, we place them in a mason jar, but for the next few days we watch closely for condensation. If even a hint of moisture appears, the jar is opened. The fruit goes back into the dehydrator, and the process begins again. Only when we see no sign of dampness do we seal the jar for long-term storage. The same principle applies to herbs, peppers, or onions. Patience is the price of preservation, and the reward is a pantry filled with flavors that will last not just weeks, but months or even years. Now, not everyone owns a dehydrator, and that's perfectly fine, because your everyday kitchen oven can do the very same work, transforming fresh herbs into long-lasting seasoning with just a little care. Oven drying is one of the oldest, simplest ways to preserve food. The key is low and slow, never rushing the process. Preheat your oven to its lowest setting, usually around 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Spread your herbs in a single layer on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, making sure they're not stacked or crowded. Leave the oven door slightly ajar to let moisture escape, and check on them every 20 minutes or so. Depending on the herb, drying can take anywhere from 1 to 4 hours. Leafy herbs like basil, parsley, and oregano dry quickly, while thicker herbs like rosemary or thyme take a little longer. You'll know they're ready when the leaves crumble easily between your fingers. And here's an important step: let them cool completely before storing them in jars. If you seal warm herbs, condensation can build, and moisture is the enemy of good storage. Oven drying has been around for centuries in one form or another. clay and brick ovens of the past were often used not just for baking bread, but for drying herbs, fruits, and vegetables for the winter season. In many ways, when you use your oven for drying, you're part of a tradition that's as old as cooking itself. Of course, long before dehydrators and ovens, people still found ways to preserve their harvests. And the method they used remains one of the simplest of all: air drying. Air drying requires nothing more than patience and a little airflow. Herbs with sturdy stems, like rosemary, thyme, oregano, sage, and lavender, are the best candidates. Gather them into small bundles and tie the stems with string or a twist of twine. Then hang them upside down in a warm, dry, and well-ventilated space. A pantry, attic, or even a kitchen corner away from sunlight works perfectly. Within 1 to 2 weeks, depending on humidity, the leaves will dry and crumble easily. From there, simply strip the leaves from the stems, crush them gently, and store them in airtight jars. Now here is a practical tip for you. For more delicate herbs like basil or parsley, which can lose flavor when exposed to too much light and air, you can place them on a drying rack or screen in a shaded spot instead. Covering them lightly with a paper bag that's been poked with small holes helps keep dust off while still allowing airflow. Fun fact, in medieval times, kitchens often had bundles of herbs hanging from beams, not only for drying but also to scent the room and ward off insects. Some of those traditions continue today, especially in rural communities where herbs are still dried in the same way their ancestors once did. So whether you use modern tools or the timeless practice of air drying, the goal is always the same: capturing the garden's flavors so they last long after the season ends. And with your herbs now dried, let's turn to the heart of our journey, blending them into seasonings that will elevate every dish. But here's the thing. Although we have talked about 3 ways to dehydrate your own homegrown herbs, you don't have to grow a garden to make homemade blends. Nearly every spice you need can be purchased dried, already ground or whole. And if you're serious about stocking your pantry, many places sell spices in bulk, half-pound or 1-pound bags and larger, that last for months, even years if properly stored. This makes homemade blends not only possible for everyone, but also cheaper and fresher than store-bought mixes filled with preservatives. So, we have discussed how important it is to store your herbs and spices correctly. And I know I kind of threw a lot of information at you. Just remember, whether you're starting with homegrown herbs or store-bought spices, the key to success is proper storage. Keep your blends in airtight jars, away from sunlight and heat. Glass spice jars, canning jars, or even resealable bags work well. Label each with the name and date, because while spices don't spoil the way food does, they do lose potency over time. And now, with your herbs dried and your jars ready, let's step into the heart of this video, creating blends that capture history, tradition, and flavor in every pinch. Oh, I almost forgot to mention something before we begin mixing these blends. Let me say this, what we're sharing today is not an exclusive list, nor is it meant to be the final word on seasoning. These recipes are simply foundations, starting points. The beauty of homemade blends is that they can be combined, adjusted, and reimagined. A pinch more basil here, a touch of cumin there, or even blending 2 different mixes together to create something entirely new. This is where cooking transforms into creativity. Experimentation is half the fun. What begins as a simple Italian blend can become the base for a Mediterranean rub. A Cajun mix, softened with herbs, might become your own signature spice for soups or stews. In the end, the best seasoning blends are not just passed down through history, they're the ones you make your own. Let's begin our journey with a classic, Italian seasoning, a blend that feels like sunshine in a jar. Though it carries the name Italian, you'll rarely find a jar labeled this way in Italy. Instead, it's an American invention, a way to bottle the flavors of Mediterranean gardens. Basil, oregano, rosemary, thyme, and marjoram, each one a gift from warm ancient soils. Blend recipe: 2 tablespoons dried basil, 2 tablespoons dried oregano, 2 tablespoons dried rosemary, 2 tablespoons dried thyme, 1 tablespoon dried marjoram. Together, they create the unmistakable flavor of pasta sauces roasted vegetables, and soups. A reminder that when herbs are grown with care, every meal can taste like it's been kissed by the Tuscan sun. But from the gentle hills of the Mediterranean, we journey to the bold, fiery kitchens of Louisiana. Cajun seasoning is as lively as the people who created it. A blend born from French, African, and Spanish influences, it was crafted by settlers in the Louisiana Bayou who learned to make the most of every herb and spice available. Blend recipe: 2 tablespoons paprika, 1 tablespoon cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 1 tablespoon onion powder, 1 tablespoon dried oregano, 1 tablespoon dried thyme, 1 teaspoon black pepper, 1 teaspoon salt. Another fun fact: paprika, the star here, comes from ground red peppers first brought from the New World to Europe in the 16th century. And cayenne? It's named for the port city of Cayenne in French Guiana, where this fiery chili was first exported. After the heat of Cajun spice, let us cool things down with something comforting, familiar: a simple garlic and herb blend. Garlic, revered since the days of ancient Egypt, was once placed in the tombs of pharaohs as a symbol of strength. When paired with parsley, thyme, and sage, it becomes the backbone of countless home-style dishes. Blend recipe: 3 tablespoons dried parsley, 2 tablespoons dried basil, 1 tablespoon dried thyme, 1 tablespoon dried sage, 2 tablespoons garlic powder. This blend is perfect for sprinkling over roasted potatoes, stirring into rice, or dusting onto bread before baking. It's the essence of a cozy kitchen: fragrant, hearty, familiar. From comfort, we move to celebration. And nothing says fiesta quite like taco seasoning. Cumin, chili powder, paprika, oregano, garlic, and onion. These spices together became a staple of Tex-Mex cuisine in the 20th century. But their roots trace far deeper, back to the ancient Mayans and Aztecs who cultivated chilies long before Europe ever tasted heat. Blend recipe: 1 tablespoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon cumin, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon oregano, 1/2 teaspoon cayenne pepper, 1/2 teaspoon salt. If you're enjoying this journey through the spice rack, take a moment to subscribe. It helps our Buckeye Bloomstead family grow, and it means you'll never miss the next recipe, gardening tip, or DIY project. Now let's get back to the flavors. Here is a good tip: this seasoning can be used on many dishes. So, we suggest you make a large jar at home, and you'll never again need the tiny packets from the store that are loaded with extra salt and preservatives. You will find this seasoning is the taste of tacos, burritos, fajitas, and all from your pantry. Of course, no seasoning story is complete without the familiar blend that graces every Thanksgiving table: poultry seasoning. This blend has roots in colonial America, when settlers combined the herbs of their gardens with the traditions of European kitchens: sage, thyme, rosemary, and marjoram. A fragrant blend designed for roasts, gravies, and stuffings. Blend recipe: 2 tablespoons dried sage, 1 tablespoon dried thyme, 1 tablespoon dried marjoram, 1 teaspoon dried rosemary, 1 teaspoon nutmeg, optional, 1/2 teaspoon black pepper, optional. And the amount you use is entirely up to you. We have found that some people prefer to omit pepper in this poultry recipe, as well as nutmeg. That is the good thing about these homemade blends. If there is a seasoning you don't care for, simply leave it out. Did you know sage was once considered a sacred herb in Roman times, used in ceremonies of healing and protection? In poultry seasoning, it lends that unmistakable earthy depth, a reminder of family gatherings and feasts shared. From special occasions to everyday cooking, sometimes we need a seasoning that simply does it all. All-purpose seasoning salt is the kitchen's shortcut to flavor. Paprika, garlic, onion, and herbs mixed with salt make an instant enhancer for nearly any dish. Blend recipe: 2 tablespoons salt, 1 tablespoon paprika, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 1 tablespoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon black pepper, 1 teaspoon dried parsley. Shake it over scrambled eggs, roasted vegetables, or even popcorn. A single blend countless possibilities. But let us not forget the blends that travel across oceans and cultures. Curry powder, though now common in pantries worldwide, has a fascinating history. Contrary to popular belief, curry powder is not traditional to India. Instead, it was created by the British during colonial times as a way to capture the complex flavors of Indian cuisine in a convenient jar. Turmeric, coriander, cumin, fenugreek, and chili powder. Each spice a story of trade, empire, and cultural exchange. 2 tablespoons turmeric, 1 tablespoon ground coriander, 1 tablespoon cumin, 1 teaspoon fenugreek, 1 teaspoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon ginger powder. Here is a fun fact. Turmeric, the golden spice, was once so valued it was traded like precious metal. Today, we know it not only for its color, but also for its powerful health benefits. Returning closer to the garden, we end with the Mediterranean herb blend, a celebration of herbs you can grow in nearly any backyard. Basil, thyme, oregano, parsley, and mint, the building blocks of cuisine stretching from Greece to Morocco. These herbs have been cultivated for centuries, valued for both flavor and medicine. Now here is what you need for this recipe. Blend together 2 tablespoons oregano, 2 tablespoons thyme, 1 tablespoon parsley, 1 tablespoon basil, 1 teaspoon mint. You can use this recipe by sprinkling it on fish, mixing it into olive oil for bread dipping, or stir into salads for a burst of freshness. This is the blend that ties the garden and the kitchen together. And there you have it. 8 homemade seasoning blends, each one a story in a jar. From the warmth of Italian herbs to the bold fire of Cajun spice, these blends carry with them centuries of culture, trade, and tradition. But remember, these recipes are not the end of the journey. They are only the beginning. The real magic happens when you take them and make them your own. Add, subtract, blend them together. Create flavors no one else has ever tasted. Because in the kitchen, as in the garden, experimenting is half the fun. And remember, at the start of this video we promised you wouldn't have to scramble to copy down every recipe. That's because we've put together a free PDF with all of today's seasoning blends, ready for you to keep handy in your kitchen. You'll find the download link waiting for you right down in the video description. So tell us, which blend will you try first? Or better yet, which one will you create? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with friends who love to cook as much as you do. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, this is Buckeye Bloomstead, reminding you that every spice, every blend, is a seed of creativity waiting to be planted in your kitchen.